What's up, everyone? The magic's back. HBO's Harry Potter TV series is finally shooting. Today, we're diving into what's happening on set, who's playing who, and yes, we'll talk about that Voldemort casting, the Katherine Parkinson controversy, and even Emma Watson losing her driver's license. So stick around, smash that like button, and let's get into it. All right, let's really talk about what's happening on set, because this is already shaping up to be one of the biggest TV productions of the decade. HBO has officially started filming the Harry Potter series, and they are not holding back when it comes to scale, nostalgia, or ambition. First off, let's get into the actual set. Cameras started rolling last week, and we already have some juicy set photos. The first big scene being shot is the iconic zoo sequence, the one where Harry accidentally speaks Parseltongue to a snake and makes the glass vanish. Yes, HBO went all the way back to London Zoo, specifically the reptile house, just like the 2001 movie. The whole sequence is being recreated there with full attention to detail. On set, our brand new Harry Potter, Dominic McLaughlin, was spotted filming in costume for the first time. And wow, he's got the look down. Messy dark hair, lightning bolt scar faintly visible, iconic round glasses, and for the zoo scene, a simple blue hoodie and jeans. Fans at the zoo even commented he looks uncannily like a young Daniel Radcliffe. He was joined on location by his on-screen nightmare family. Amos Kitson as Dudley Dursley, sulking and grimacing just like you'd expect Dudley to. And then there's Petunia and Vernon Dursley, played by Belle Powley and Daniel Rigby, both looking perfectly uptight and miserable. The scene they filmed was set by the Penguin enclosure, where tourists and zoo visitors reportedly looked on in surprise as the cast zoomed around between takes in green golf carts. According to one visitor, the actors even took ice cream breaks while the crew reset cameras. And yes, the whole scene includes Dudley's birthday meltdown, Harry getting ignored, and the magical glass disappearing snake moment. Honestly, just seeing those photos from the zoo gave me chills, because it really shows how committed they are to recreating everything, even the small scenes the movies kind of skimmed over. And speaking of commitment, HBO has gone even further this time to make filming work seamlessly for their young cast. Remember how the original movies had to squeeze school lessons in between takes? Well, for the TV show, HBO is actually building an entire real school on the Leavesden set. According to BBC, the school can house up to 600 students, but will normally have around 150 on any given day. The classrooms are inside portable buildings, but it's a legit registered school, operating weekdays from 5:30 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. to accommodate night shoots. Kids will literally swap arithmetic for arithmancy between takes. The production even said the school is approved for up to 10 years of operation, which tells you just how long-term HBO is thinking. We also got our very first official production photo, showing Dominic McLaughlin holding the slate for the first take, dated July 14, 2025. You can see director Mark Mylod and cinematographer Adriano Goldman's names on the board. These are serious heavy hitters in TV. And that same day, HBO also dropped the first photo of Nick Frost as Hagrid. And let me tell you, Nick looks incredible in costume. Massive shaggy beard, wild hair, huge overcoat. He's got the spirit of Robbie Coltrane's original performance, but you can already tell he's making it his own. Nick Frost even spoke about the role recently, saying, "While I'm really aware of what went before me in terms of Robbie Coltrane's amazing performance, I'm never going to try and be Robbie. I'm going to try and do something, not different, but I think you have to be respectful to the subject matter. I always read Hagrid as he's like a lovely, lost, violent, funny, warm child. That's what I'm planning on doing." Now let's talk the rest of the cast, because it's a stacked lineup already. Joining Dominic McLaughlin as Harry, we've got Arabella Stanton as Hermione Granger and Alistair Stout as Ron Weasley, both of whom start shooting next week at Leavesden. Then there's the newcomers announced a few days ago. Rory Wilmot as Neville Longbottom, Louise Brealey as Madame Hooch, Anton Lesser as Garrick Ollivander, Amos Kitson as Dudley Dursley. and even Johnny Flynn as Lucius Malfoy. And one more fun detail. Insiders confirmed that all the childhood flashbacks and smaller moments between Harry, Dudley, and their school friends are going to be included this time. No cutting corners. If you're one of those fans who wanted the movies to slow down and let those little moments breathe, this series might just deliver. Now let's talk format, because this is important. HBO confirmed that each book in the series is getting its own season. And for now, they've locked in 6 episodes per season for the first 2 seasons, which will cover the Philosopher's Stone and Chamber of Secrets. Makes sense. Those 2 books are shorter and more contained. Future seasons will reportedly stretch to 8 episodes to keep up with the longer, denser later books. We also know the filming schedule is already mapped out to 2027 and beyond. According to production insiders, Season 1 will be shooting straight through until May 2026, and Season 2 picks up filming almost immediately after, from July 2026 through to May 2027. That's nearly 2 years of continuous production just for the first 2 seasons. Absolutely massive. So yeah, the cameras are rolling, the cast is locked in, and the production is in full swing. It's clear HBO isn't messing around. This is going to be one of the most ambitious fantasy shows ever made. If you're as excited as I am to see these classic scenes brought to life again, drop a like, let me know in the comments what scene you're most hyped to see recreated, and don't forget to subscribe, because I'll be bringing you every new leak and casting reveal as soon as it drops. Okay, now this is probably the biggest question on everyone's mind. Who the hell is playing Voldemort? We know for sure now that Voldemort has been cast already, and what's wild is HBO is pulling off a whole cloak and dagger operation to keep it secret. According to a production insider, Voldemort is already cast and will appear in several episodes, but HBO has no plans of announcing his casting and want to keep him secret until the season airs. Yep, they're leaning fully into the "he who must not be named" branding. Kind of genius if you ask me. Fans are already speculating like crazy. And honestly, this might just be the most guarded piece of casting info in recent TV history. But here's what we do know. Unlike the movies, where Voldemort was barely seen in the first installment, just a CGI face on Quirrell's head, HBO's version is going to feature him in multiple episodes of Season 1. That suggests flashbacks to Godric's Hollow, maybe even glimpses of Tom Riddle at various stages of his life. And of course, that creepy reveal on the back of Quirrell's head. So who's actually under all that makeup and prosthetics? Well, the 2 frontrunners everybody's talking about are Cillian Murphy and Matt Smith. Cillian Murphy is a fan favorite because of his haunting, intense presence. You've seen it in Peaky Blinders, Oppenheimer, A Quiet Place 2. Matt Smith is another strong contender, already famous for playing charismatic yet eerie characters, like in Doctor Who and House of the Dragon. Both have been name-dropped in leaks and betting odds. Neither of them have commented, obviously. HBO is keeping quiet too. Their CEO literally said, "We're still weighing a couple of different options there, so we're not quite ready there yet. That's an important role to get right." And even Ralph Fiennes, who played Voldemort in the films, weighed in. He was asked by Entertainment Tonight if he had any advice for whoever ends up playing Voldemort in the HBO reboot. And instead of something deep like understand the psychology of evil, Ralph went straight to costume problems. Here's his actual quote. "Make sure you can handle the long flowing robes and don't trip over them. Practice your long flowing robe walk. I wore tights. Initially they were one piece with a gusset, which kept getting lower and lower through the shooting day and became uncomfortable. So I said I wanted individual tights like a garter belt. I enjoyed teasing the stunt guys by lifting up my robes and showing them my garter belt." I mean, I did not have Voldemort wore a garter belt on my 2025 bingo card, but here we are. Love that. One more note. Some fans have pointed out that casting Voldemort this early and featuring him more in Season 1 is a big creative change, since the books kept his full form hidden for a while. But hey, that's the perk of doing a full series adaptation. You can flesh him out properly. So who do you want to see as the Dark Lord? Someone totally unexpected? Drop your picks in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe, because you already know I'll be the first to tell you when they finally unmask him. Alright, now let's shift gears for a minute and talk about one of the most controversial aspects of this whole production. The ongoing backlash surrounding J.K. Rowling and the cast's reaction to her views on transgender issues. This has been hanging over the reboot ever since it was announced, and it's not going away anytime soon. Rowling, who is still very much involved as an executive producer, has made public statements over the years that many have called anti-trans. Stars from the original movies, including Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, and Rupert Grint, have all distanced themselves from her statements and openly voiced their support for trans people. So naturally, people were curious about what the new cast would say. When Katherine Parkinson, who's playing Molly Weasley, was asked about it, she gave what I think is a very measured, graceful answer. She said, "I don't want to add to that debate at all. I'm just delighted to be joining the magical world of Harry Potter." That's it. Simple and probably wise, especially since she's already in the public eye for her other work. Parkinson became famous for the IT crowd, and she's still starring in shows like Here We Go and Rivals. She even mentioned that her role as Molly Weasley won't take up much of her schedule at first, saying, "As far as I can tell, because it's very important to me to work as little as possible, always has been. I'm not going to be terribly needed for it, so I'm hoping I'll be very free to do whatever I want." She also reassured fans that since the show films at Leavesden Studios, she'll still be close enough to continue other projects if she wants to. In short, she's clearly trying to stay focused on her role without wading into the culture war. Some have praised her for that, others have criticized her for staying quiet. It's a tough position, and honestly, I don't envy her. It's worth noting too that Papa Essiedu, who's playing Snape, actually signed an open letter supporting trans rights earlier this year. Meanwhile, Rowling herself recently tweeted, "I don't believe in taking away people's jobs or livelihoods because they hold legally protected beliefs that differ from mine." So, yeah, tensions around this issue aren't going anywhere, but at least it seems the cast is being allowed to have their own positions without interference. What do you guys think? Should actors speak up more about this stuff or just focus on their work? Let me know in the comments. And hey, while you're at it, drop a like if you're enjoying the deep dive so far. And finally, let's check in with an original star of the franchise. And it's not good news for her driving record. Emma Watson, who played Hermione in all 8 of the original movies, just got banned from driving for 6 months after getting caught speeding in Oxford. Yep, Hermione Granger, who could master every spell in the book, apparently couldn't stick to 30 miles per hour. Here's what happened. Last July, she was clocked driving her blue Audi at 38 miles per hour in a 30 miles per hour zone. Now that alone wouldn't usually be a big deal, but she already had 9 points on her license from previous offenses. In the UK, getting 3 more points triggered an automatic ban. She didn't even attend the hearing. Her lawyer told the court she's in a position to pay the fine. No kidding there. The fine was £1,044. And if that wasn't ironic enough, on the same day, in the same court, her former co-star Zoe Wanamaker, who played Madame Hooch, also got banned for speeding. Seriously, what are the odds that both Hogwarts Quidditch referee and Hermione Granger would lose their licenses in the same room? Wild. So what's Emma up to now? She's actually back at Oxford, working on her master's degree in creative writing and running a sustainable gin company with her brother. Busy as ever, just not driving herself around for the next half a year? Not gonna lie. It's kind of funny seeing Hermione herself caught by a muggle speed camera. What do you think? Should we cut her some slack? Or is Hermione smarter than that? Tell me in the comments. So there you have it. Filming's underway, the cast is stacked, and Voldemort is waiting in the wings. This series is shaping up to be massive, and honestly, I'm cautiously optimistic. If you made it this far, you're clearly a real one. Hit that like button, drop a comment with who you think Voldemort should be, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates as this series comes to life. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.